Right. Good afternoon, ladies. Today we are going to talk about sports. First of all, I am going to let you listen a song, and you are going to tell me what is the song about. And then we are going to start the other parts of the class. Okay,
Okay.
so here we go. Okay, otra vez. Okay. Very much just was not my scene, and I don't like Star Wars. Say right. Give me choice. Yes, I believe in the people, super marathon. Okay. So you can hear it? You cannot hear it?
I can listen to you, but I can't listen to music.
Ah. Hmm. What about you, Marcela? Can you hear it? No. Ah, yes. So what was the problem? It is because of the. Mhm. Uh-huh. I can hear you. What could it be the problem, Liliana and Sully? Ah, okay. I'm listening the song in YouTube. So uh, please try to check it in YouTube in order to listen. Okay, Liliana and Sully.
Okay, teacher.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Marcela, are you ready? Okay. So please tell me what are the two famous movies that are mentioned in the song?
Two famous movies:
Mhm.
Star Wars.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I don't know what other. Star Wars.
And
Hmm?
in the verse before, the
Okay,
first
fun.
word, the first word. Uh-huh.
First word. Jaws.
Correct. Right. Right. Jaws and Star Wars. The first movie, Jaws. We call it as we know it as knew it as Tiburon.
Ah,
Uh,
yeah.
it was a movie from Steven Spielberg, and the second one, Star Wars, is a movie very recognized.
Mhm.
Okay, so what is the The first mention right here in this stanza for you. What is the message? What are the commentaries that you can make about it?
About the song.
Mm-hmm.
For me, when you can about the write the bicycle, I don't know if I am good, but I think the ride the bicycle give many chances for discover the world, other world, enjoy the life and different way, no common way. He prefer ride his bicycle before to watch uh, movies or famous thing than than government. And he said uh, she didn't believe in Peter Pan, Frankenstein, or Superman. He only.
Okay, Marcela, thank you. What about you, Sully? What is the meaning for you about the next stanza? You say Rolls, I say Royce. You say God, give me a choice. What do you what do you comment about it?
Mm, I think that can be God. He say that he don't believe in Superman, in another superhero, but he just want to ride his bicycle. But I don't know what is what is the real meaning or what he tried to say with this song.
Okay, Sully, thank you. And Liliana, what is the your commentary about the stanza that say you say cock, I say cane, and the rest?
Teacher, I didn't understand the question.
What are your comments for the stanza, la estrofa, that is starting with you say cock, I say cane. The third stanza.
I say Royce, Royce. Um, mm, when say you say Rolls and I say Royce, you say could give me? Yeah, is that teacher?
Is the last one. The stanza starts saying you say cock, I say cane. You say John, I say Wayne. Hot dog, I say cool it man. I don't wanna be the president of America. What other information has got in the uh-huh. What can you understand about that stanza?
Mm, is like a contradiction.
But yes, it's a kind of contradiction, but what is the meaning for you?
Mm, I think that is not a good message because it say um, it say about the drugs and the situation is like conflicts and problems that we have actually. For
Okay.
example, the cocaine, the politics too.
Okay. Okay.
And I think that is not good message.
Okay. Thank you. So now we're going to start to doing this kind of analysis, but talking about the important topic today, that is sport. So the first part that we are going to do is to answer some questions that you are going to try to express in your own words. Marcela, do you play any sports? I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. Okay. Okay, so we are going to start with Sully, please.
Yes, teacher, can you repeat the question?
Do you play any sports?
In this moment, I
Ah,
don't do it, but I like the sports
okay, what are the reasons for you not to practice a sport?
because I don't have time to
Uh-huh.
practice the sport.
Okay.
Is because I am working. Uh, in fact, I was working today, and I just arrived to my home. Uh, and that is the reason. But I like to run, to play soccer, to play volleyball. I like
Okay.
the sport, and sometimes I go to the gym.
Okay, so good. Thank you. Liliana,
Okay.
do you consider do you consider that you are a good soccer player or basketball player or any other sport player, and why?
Um, I like to play volleyball. And when I'm my work, um, every year there are a championship in the different hotels of the company, and I like to play volleyball, and and it's good.
Okay, thank you. Marcela, have you ever been to a sport team in your enterprise, in your school, or somewhere else?
Not, not really, teacher. I never been at any team sport of in my life. I think I am not good at for sports. I like walking,
Hmm.
but I am not good at with the sports.
Why
Uh,
do why do you consider that you don't have that possibility?
because I practice that in the school, but I am not good at. It's like a little hard for me.
Mhm.
I don't like running. I don't like running. I prefer to walk. Uh, but that I watch the sports on TV, but no, I don't practice any sport. I like walking. I like that, that teacher.
Okay, thank you, Marcela. Sully, what kind of exercise do you like to do? You like to do in order to try to feel dynamic and healthy?
Well, I like to ride my bicycle, like the song,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
um, to breathe fresh air. I like to walk. Um, I like to play in volleyball, soccer, whatever it makes, whatever I do. I know that it's going to make me feel better.
Okay, so good. Liliana, have you ever paid attention to the championships that are transmitted on television? For example, Pan American Games or Olympic Games or this kind of competitions?
Yes, teacher. I like to watch the World Cup
Mm-hmm.
of soccer. I like to the artistic sports of
Mm-hmm.
swimming pool or gymnastics or
Dance.
patinaje, skiing. Yes,
Ah,
dance,
skating. Okay, so good.
skating, artistics, and dancing.
Okay, so good. Thank you. What do you think? How do you like the female participation in this kind of events? For example, I like it very much when I was watching the transmission because I had the opportunity to enjoy volleyball, basketball, and volleyball, basketball, and soccer when the girls were playing, and I think that they like to do things better than men. They like to, even when they are, for example, losing, they try always to overcome the situation. Why do you think about it? What do you think about Liliana? No. Marcela?
Yes, teacher.
Do you like to enjoy these activities on television?
Yes, I like to watch the World Cup of Soccer, the Pan American competition because I learn about that that sports. I like to learn about the rules, and I like to learn to watch Colombian teams
Mhm.
or
Okay.
on another because I like learn. My favorite sports on soccer. Yes, teacher.
Uh-huh. Okay. What is your opinion about the participation of women in these activities? Do you consider that they can do it better than men? What is your opinion?
I think the woman made an excellent participation because we have the same options, the same skills of the of the men. Mm, it's so interesting because
Mhm.
in women's women participate and make effort for every competition and individual skills and share that skills with the team. That is
Okay.
great to watch um women playing soccer. Maybe that is not so famous like when the men play, but it's important to participate and start to integrate in that field.
Okay, Marla, thank you. Sully, what are for you the most important, who are the most important representatives of feminine sport in Colombia?
I think that Colombia has many women that represent the sports like Mariana Pajón, Catherine Ibargüen, mm, La Chechi Baena,
Skating.
skating, yes. But in soccer, I don't know. I don't know what are the names of the girls that play soccer here in Colombia.
Okay, thank you, Sully. Liliana, who else can you mention as as a representative of the female sport in Colombia? What other women?
What are the women that represent the sport in Colombia? Eh, I think that Catherine Ibargüen,
Athleticism.
Isabel Urrutia,
María Isabel Urrutia. Weightlifting.
Yes.
Okay.
There are many girls, but I don't know the names, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Marcela, do you prefer individual or collective sports, and why?
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yes. I believe I prefer team sports because you can give support and receive support into a common objective that is to win, and we have to learn to share with others the opinion, to listen, to hear the other people, and learn about strategies to win. Also, if you lose, you can support and in the other people and learn about when fail or make a mistakes and make better that things like a team.
Okay, Marcela, thank you. Sully, do you like indoor or outdoor sports? What are the favorites for you? Indoors,
I love
outdoors.
the outdoors sports because you can breathe fresh air, you can see the nature. I think that the outdoor sports are better than indoors sport.
Okay, Sully. Liliana, do you think that amateur sports or professional sports have given more satisfaction to Colombia? Amateur or professional?
Mm, I think that a professional sports because I think that is more interesting to know about the 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 different sports and in that is more uh, representative and it has opportunities for the people.
Okay, Liliana, thank you. Marcela, what is the relation between sports and the crime and the mafias and these kind of things? Do you consider that in Colombia exist this kind of relationship, or don't you think so?
Mm. I think in the professionals soccer professional uh, could could present that things because um, the some people bet for their teams, then they bet a lot of money, a lot of amount of money, then invest and can buy the people. Also, I remember in some uh, in some end of the como digo, the match when you decided the winner. Uh, some people pay money and give money another team for obtain and win. I think that is present in the soccer in Colombia. I don't know if that could be in other sports.
Okay, Marcela, thank you. Very important reflection about it. Sully, what do you consider that is the relation between hooligans, barras bravas, and the soccer? Do you consider that this kind of social situation it is only present in soccer, or do you consider that it is present in other kind of sportive activities?
Well, I haven't seen that in other sports. I only see that in soccer sports. So I don't know why the soccer uh, has uh, has this kind of people that like the violence, uh, because I have I haven't seen that in other sports. So I don't know.
Okay, Sully, thank you. Liliana, what is the relation between the role that narrators and commentaries has in the narrations, in the transmission of these events, and the violence that exists between people in the streets? What do you consider that it is the relation between those two elements?
Um, I think that it's difficult the relation because the how do you say barras
The hooligans?
the hooligans um, they are very violent, and 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 it is not a motive to fight, to do damage to another people, and and it's a bad idea that the commentaries in the TV, because it destroy more and generate and give a bad information or interpretation for the televidents. How do you say televidents?
Telespectators.
Telespectators. And it's not a good imagine about that.
Okay, Liliana. Sully, do you consider that there is a kind of discrimination in sports as well as in other areas in our life? Discrimination.
Are you talking about the football, soccer, about the soccer?
Sport, general sport.
Mm, discrimination in sports.
hmm Do you think that there is, that it exists?
Can be, for example, in soccer. I think that people eh, put their attention more in the main sports like soccer and other sports, um, and they don't put the no attention in other sports that women's plays.
Okay, Sully, thank you. Liliana, do you think that there is sexual harassment and abuse and not abuse, stalking, sexual stalking in sports?
Mm, Teacher, it's not clear the question. I don't know.
Do you think that there is sexual harassment or sexual stalking in sports in Colombia? As the ladies of the soccer team denounce?
Mm,
¿Tú sí
Really,
crees,
I don't
ah,
know, teacher.
¿tú sí crees que puede existir ese tipo de acoso sexual también en los deportes? Tal como lo denunciaron las niñas ¿de qué? De la selección de fútbol.
Maybe, teacher, but I don't know. There are many things in 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 that teams, but no, I don't know, and I don't listen that new.
Hmm? Okay. What about you, Marcela? Do you consider that all of the sports are treated with the same respect in Colombia, taking into account the different prizes and medals that they have given?
No, already I know. I tag in count with the transmission.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the soccer is famous in in South America, South America. Maybe that is the reason. But in Colombia, we have received uh, more medallas,
Mm-hmm.
medal. medals
Yes.
of other sports than soccer team, but the people and the transmission on television is famous and prefer to transmit the soccer player match every year, every event, because some match of another sports, maybe we receive the information in the news, but not all the match. Maybe when the teams are in the final
Mhm.
final match, like I don't remember, tennis with
Tennis.
Cabal and the other
Farag.
Farah, yes, but not all the process with the team. Yes, when we have in the final, maybe the television has started with uh, with tours with
Mhm.
Nairo Quintana or Miguel Angel Lopez or that Tour de Francia, but I think we have to recognize
Mhm.
another uh, events an important participation of the sports in Colombia.
Okay, Marcela, thank you. Sully, do you remember the names of the ladies that won gold medal in the Olympics for Colombia? Two ladies. Who are they?
Mm, but she practice or they practice different sports.
Of course, very different. Not,
Mariana
not,
Pajón,
two medals, two golden
uh,
medals.
Catherine Ibargüen.
No, not.
No,
She had won medals in Panamericanos and other leagues and events, but not in the Olympics. But she's very important too. What is the other? She is from Valle del Cauca. She is a brown girl, and she was involved in politics.
um, let me remember. But she right now is not practicing a sport.
She is a trainer. She is a coach here in Bogota, and she is doing a very good work because many people that she and their colleagues are training are getting very good results in international events. Who's her name? What's her name? Maria. Uh-huh.
Marisabel Urrutia.
Okay, that's so good. She's the one. If you take into account this information, you can see that there is not soccer players that give us these kind of satisfactions. No,
Yes.
no man has the opportunity except this athlete in the Panamericanos. Um, he is from the Atlantic coast, but the only ones that had given us more satisfactions are women. For example, in the last Pan American sports, in the last Pan American games, mm, basketball, volleyball, and soccer in the feminine league, they were the ones that bring up those medals. No men had the opportunity to do that. So my question is, do you consider that women and men are treated the same way talking about sports, Liliana?
What is the question? question, teacher?
Do you think that women and
Hello.
men practicing sports, professional sports, are treated the same way or they are discriminated? And why? Why could be this way?
Mm, I think that actually the women have many opportunities, and there are excellent deportists. We have excellent representation uh, in women and men. Um, um, eh, and I think that the women has been a big effort for 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 work in different sports, and in Colombia, little to little, uh, uh, has have had the opportunity to show the importance about the different sports. For example, now in skating, in running, in in soccer, the female team is excellent. In one more in bicycle, in many sports we have many representations.
Thank you, Liliana. What is your opinion, Marcela, about the same question?
Mm, I, I in part I agree with Liliana. The woman have uh, won a feeling into the sports, also like a politician. But I think the work of the representation of the woman is no has the same value in comparison with the woman. For example, like the team of soccer, the woman and men, the men have more uh, patrocinia, no patron, I don't know what you said.
Sponsorship?
Uh, spon- Repeat the word, teacher, please.
Sponsorship.
Sponsorship. Yes, uh, sponsorship. Uh, the woman team had to obtain or work or make a big effort to win a sponsorship. Also, the process of torneo, the match are not transmit. Then the people don't go to the stadium uh, to support the team, then I think that is part of discrimination in sports, maybe.
Okay, Marcela, thank you. Sully, we have in Colombia a very, I don't know how to say, a very limited situation about the implementation of sport in physical education in high schools. We only have programs about soccer, uh, basketball, and possibly volleyball. If you had the opportunity to try to organize a project What kind of sports do you add to the curriculums and why?
Mm, let me think about it. Mm, I would like to add another sports uh, like for example, athletics. Uh, athletic. Uh, what else? Maybe tennis.
Mhm.
I think that here in Colombia there are so much talents for the sports, but the people has no the support to the government. For example, they don't spend enough money for sport, and I think that it can be the solution to the drug problems.
Mhm.
And people here in Colombia is available to play any sport or whatever that they want to practice, because here in Colombia there are so much talent.
Okay, Sully, thank you. Liliana, Sully mentioned the word drug. Sport is a probable solution for the drug consume. But I have this question. Some sportsmen and some sportswomen used doping when they are practicing a sport. For example, it is so common in cyclism. We know some cases in soccer. We know some cases in, for example, athleticism. What is for you the reason of this union between drugs and sports?
Mm, I think that the reason is that that the people want to win, uh, and take the decision to consume these drugs, but it's not good because it's important, the honesty in this practice, but uh, the bad influences or the maybe pressure or politics uh, uh, um, contribute to to take that that options. Mm, um, no, I consider that is not good.
Thank you, Liliana. Marcela, Liliana just mentioned the word politics, uh, and I would like to ask you this question. Do you think that laws in Colombia, that legislation in Colombia, is supporting the way sportsmen are doing their work, or they are abandoned by the state, and why?
Mm, Maybe in the last years, the governments have tried to support different uh, deportees in different sports, but I think like the culture, like other aspects of into the politician uh, are abandoned by the government because I know the most important in the things are the people, but in this case they need scenarios to practice. Maybe, for example, boxing. They need uh, files adequate to practice. If is another sport like tiro al blanco, I don't know how do you say that, but need some equipments to practice. Maybe in other sports you don't need, for example, athletics, but they need the support to the government invest in the laws to let deportees to participate and not pay for his trips or for their equipment. And I think that part file into the laws about uh, sports and culture. Thank you.
Okay, Marcela, thank you. Sully, Marcela, Marcela mentioned boxing, and one of the most important origins of this sport in Colombia, the most important sources of many talented sportmen in Colombia is, of course, Atlantic Coast. Why do you consider that this sport is so abandoned by the state, by the society? Mm, if we had the most important representatives, like for example, Pambele, Rocky Valdez, Happy Lora, um, Brothers Cardona, why do they finish in poverty and abandon if they had the opportunity to get money, power, and popularity? Why do you think that? What are the social reasons, the economic reasons for them to finish that way? What is your opinion, Sully?
Well, I think that like I was saying mm, 3 or 5 minutes ago, the problem is not the people. The problem is the government. The government uh, don't spend enough money in the talent that the people has. For example, in boxing, I think that they have to create a space where the people can practice these sports, can see these sports, because I think that uh, for example, here in the coast there are no scenarios for practice these sports. Mm, I think that this is the reason.
Okay, Sully, thank you. Mm, now, please, Marcela, ask ask two questions to your partners in order to I don't know, clarify some doubts or to try to find new information. Okay.
Mm, for Liliana, um, do you live in Bogota? Uh, do you remember a famous deportees of Bogota, or you admire some deportees of Bogota? Liliana?
Hello?
Can,
Yes, Liliana?
Hello? Could you hear me?
Yes, no, I can hear you.
Okay. I say that in Bogota, I don't remember the name for the Deportist, but near to Bogota, I can say that the the bicycle from Zipaquirá, eh, what is the name? Mm,
Egan?
Egan, Egan Bernal, yes. He's from Zipaquirá, but from Bogota. In this moment, really, I no remember.
And Suli, if you could practice an sport, what sport would you like to practice and why? If you have enough time and all the resorts. Suli?
Can you repeat the question because I didn't listen?
Okay. If you could practice whatever sport with enough time, with the resorts, the equipment, what sport would you like to practice and why?
Okay. I would like to practice two sports. For example, skate. And what else? Volleyball. Because I think that those sports are funny, eh, and I like to do exercises, having fun. Because if you don't have fun doing uh, sports, you don't going to enjoy the the moments, the place, and you have to look for a sport that you really like. And I like skating and I like volleyball.
Thank you, Lilia. Thank you, Suli.
okay, thank you. Liliana, your two questions for Sully and for Marcela, please.
Two questions. Mm, okay, Marcela, what is the most important sport that practicing in Pasto, or what do you like to implement?
A question, Lilian. I don't know. A ver, in the last years, I've seen uh, schools of skating where children practice at at the weekends or at the night. Then I think in this moment skating is a famous sport for practicing in the city. Maybe we don't have the scenario, we don't have the space, but they practice in the park at the uh, of the fields, open fields. I think that.
Okay. Um, for Sully, do you think that we have another options to participate in another sport in Colombia?
Yes, we can participate in another sports. I think that we have the same rights that the men's, and we can do uh, other sports like uh, boxing, like soccer, uh, but the people or the society are not prepared for see women uh, practicing other sports, but I think that is possible.
Thank you. Sully, your questions.
Okay, for Marcela. What are the most what you consider that is the most important sports here in Colombia?
I think some sports have given medals. Skating also, although this is a no Olympian sport. Also the cyclism, physical sports, and another. I think I think sport with which practice Mariana Pajon.
Okay.
Well, that sports. I think we have a lot of potential in Colombian, and we have received uh, medals in that fields.
Okay.
BMX.
Okay, Liliana. Mm, Liliana, what sport do you prefer to practice if you could do it in this time?
I would like to practice gymnastics. I like a lot, and I think that is an excellent option to practice.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
A question for the three of you. How do you feel and what do you know about extreme sports? First question